Welcome to the Deep Dive, your shortcut to being genuinely well-informed. Today, we're plunging into something I think many of us feel, right? That sense of being constantly stretched, overwhelmed, juggling everything. You're getting things done, hitting goals, but maybe not feeling truly fulfilled. Is there a way to actually thrive at work and in life, not just survive?
It's such a common feeling, especially in really demanding jobs. And that brings us perfectly to our focus today. The work of Frivin Lim. That's pronounced Frivin, by the way. He's an architect and author and a coach who's done a lot of work with big corporate and professional groups in Singapore. He developed this framework called Your Sweet Spot, specifically designed to help people, well, navigate exactly these kinds of pressures.
Okay, so our mission for this deep dive is to really unpack Frivin's framework. We're looking at insights from his workshops, kind of giving you a shortcut to understanding how you can blend purpose, passion, and productivity, for a more satisfying professional and personal life. We'll touch on his own story, some very practical tools, and I think some quite profound ideas you can use. So let's get into the why behind Your Sweet Spot. This wasn't just an academic idea, was it? It came from something deeply personal for Frivin.
Oh, absolutely. It's quite a powerful background. Frivin's a highly regarded architect in Singapore. He was an HDB scholar. That's a significant national scholarship there. And Singapore's URA, their Urban Development Authority, even named him one of their 20 under 45 architects making a real impact. He had leadership roles in top firms, like growing DP Architects London office from just himself to a team of 12. So, externally, huge success.
Right, ticking all the boxes. But here's the kicker. Despite all that visible success, he hit a wall, severe burnout, intense anxiety. He's spoken about experiencing suicidal thoughts during the pandemic lockdown. It's a stark reminder, isn't it? Success doesn't automatically mean well-being.
Exactly. That crisis became a turning point. It forced him to, I think he calls it, renovate his own professional life and really dig deep into personal well-being. He realized something crucial. Self-care, especially for high achievers. It isn't some fluffy extra. It's a fundamental need. He uses this great analogy of a car. It needs regular maintenance. Ignore the small rattles, the warning lights.
And eventually you break down.
Precisely. His own struggle really highlighted the need for a framework like Your Sweet Spot, not just for him, but for others heading down that same path. And because it came from such a difficult personal experience, there's a real authenticity to his approach.
That car analogy really lands. But okay, for someone listening who feels completely swamped, the idea of self-care might just sound like another thing to do. How does Frivin address that initial resistance?
Yeah, that's a very common reaction, and he tackles it head on. Often, he starts by sort of redefining what happiness even means, making it less vague, more actionable. He came up with this framework he calls EGM to make it more concrete.
EGM. Okay, I'm intrigued. Let's break that down. What do the letters stand for, and how does it help us understand our own well-being better?
Right. So EGM looks at happiness in three parts. First, E is for experiences. These are those bursts of joy like holidays, a great meal, getting a new phone, whatever it is. They feel good, definitely exhilarating.
But they fade, right?
They often do. They're part of the picture, but not the whole thing. Second, G is for growth and learning. This is fundamental. Our brains are actually wired to learn, to grow. It's how we as humans have survived and thrived. If we deny that need, we stagnate. And Frivin makes a great point here. It's about practice makes progress, not perfection. Perfection can be paralyzing.
Ah, that's a good distinction. Progress, not perfection.
Yeah. It's about feeling stimulated moving forward, even in small ways. So if you're feeling dissatisfied, maybe ask, am I learning anything new? Am I growing? And third, M is for meaning and purpose. Humans are social creatures. We need to feel part of something bigger. Contributing, whether it's to your family, your community, a project at work, that connection provides a really deep, lasting kind of satisfaction.
So EGM isn't just a list, it's like a diagnostic.
Exactly. When that dissatisfaction creeps in, you can use EGM. Am I just chasing fleeting ease? Am I neglecting G, my growth? Or am I disconnected from M, my sense of purpose? It helps pinpoint what might be missing.
That makes a lot of sense. It moves happiness from just feeling good sometimes to building something more sustainable. Okay, let's connect this to the main event. Frivin's Your Sweet Spot framework. You mentioned it reframes Ikigai for professionals. It uses 4 overlapping circles, yeah?
That's right. It's built on these 4 key questions, represented as circles.
Yeah.
1, what you love doing, your genuine joy, what lights you up. 2, what you are good at doing, your skills, your talents, where you naturally excel.
Okay.
3, what the world needs, how your work solves a problem, helps others, makes a contribution. And 4, what you get rewarded for. Usually money, but could also be recognition, positive feedback, that kind of thing.
And the magic happens where these circles overlap.
Precisely.
Yeah.
The intersections are where you find the different dimensions of a fulfilling professional life.
Right.
So what you love plus what you're good at, that's your passion.
Right.
What you love plus what the world needs, that's your mission. Makes sense.
Your driving force.
Then what the world needs plus what rewards you, that's your vocation, like calling the world values. And finally, what you're good at plus what rewards you, that's your profession, where your skills meet the market.
Friven uses examples like Steve Jobs, Jamie Oliver, Henry Ford. Can you unpack one of those quickly? How do they hit that sweet spot?
Yeah, take Jamie Oliver. He clearly loved authentic food, simple ingredients. He was also good at simplifying cooking, making it accessible. The world, arguably, needed healthier, easier ways to cook at home. And he was rewarded massively. Books, TV, fame, money. See how all four aligned?
Ah, okay. Love, skill, need, reward, all there.
Exactly. And Jobs with tech, Ford with cars, they hit that convergence point. The framework isn't just theoretical, it's a way to look at your own work. Are you operating mostly in your profession circle, maybe feeling good skills and rewards, but missing that mission piece? It helps you see the gaps.
Yeah, it becomes a map for your own career.
It really does. And it helps understand the difference between having a job maybe just for the money, a means to an end, a career where you're focused on climbing the ladder, gaining skills, or a calling where that mission piece is so strong, the rewards are almost secondary. It's often about how you frame your work and which circles you're actively engaging.
Okay, so we have these powerful frameworks, EGM, the sweet spot circles. But knowing isn't always doing. What practical tools does Friven suggest to actually implement this stuff day to day? Let's start with mindfulness.
Right, mindfulness.
Oh.
It's a buzzword, but Friven approaches it very practically.
Yeah.
It's not just about sitting down to meditate for an hour, although that can be great. It's more about being fully present, engaging your senses in simple everyday things, like really noticing the water temperature when you wash dishes or the feel of the cloth when you polish something.
Finding moments of presence in the mundane.
Exactly. The goal is to give your brain these little pockets of downtime, a pause from the constant barrage of information and demands. This builds resilience. He used another great analogy, a rubber band. It needs to stretch, but if it's always stretched tight...
It snaps. Burnout.
Yeah. Mindfulness is about letting that rubber band relax regularly so it keeps its elasticity, its strength.
Love that image. But again, the time question. How do we find time even for these micro pauses when the schedule's packed? This brings us to HIME, right?
Yes. HIME. Highest impact. Minimum effort. It's that classic idea of one stone, two birds. Finding smart ways to get multiple benefits from one action. And interestingly, technology, especially AI, can be a huge enabler here.
AI? How does that fit with well-being?
Well, think about AI in design workflows, like architecture, Friven's field. AI can speed up the really tedious parts of ideation, concept sketching, generating options. This doesn't replace the architect, but it frees them up. It helps teams communicate ideas faster, clearer, reduces wasted effort on endless revisions.
Which ultimately means better work-life balance, less late nights, maybe?
That's the potential. Using AI strategically lets humans focus on the high-level creative thinking and problem-solving, making the whole process more efficient and hopefully less draining.
Okay, that's the professional angle. What about using AI for ourselves personally to manage information or save time?
Yeah, there are tools for that too, fitting the HIME principle. Friven actually developed his own tool. He calls it a curated AI genie. It's basically a chatbot trained only on his personal library, like 500 books and research papers on well-being, design, etc. So you can ask it questions and get highly accurate reference answers from his curated sources.
Wow, like having a personal research assistant trained on specific expertise.
Kind of. And then there are tools like Google Notebook LM. This is amazing. You can upload, say, up to 50 of your own private documents, PDFs, notes, whatever, and then you can ask you questions about your own documents, get summaries, find specific info instantly, all private. It's a game changer for processing information you already have, saving huge amounts of time.
Okay, that sounds genuinely useful for managing information overload. That definitely fits HIME.
The goal isn't just doing less. It's about being more strategic to free up energy and time for what really matters.
And that idea of what really matters gets amplified by another concept Friven talks about, the 4,000 weeks. Tell us about that.
It's simple, but profound. The average human lifespan is roughly 4,000 weeks.
4,000. When you put it like that, it doesn't sound like that much.
It focuses the mind, doesn't it? It's not meant to be morbid, but to encourage us to be more intentional about how we spend this finite, precious resource. Are we spending our weeks climbing a ladder that actually leads somewhere we want to go? Or is it the wrong ladder leading to success, maybe, but not fulfillment?
It really puts things in perspective.
It does. It underscores why taking time for reflection, for self-care, for aligning with your sweet spot isn't an indulgence. It's essential for making those 4,000 weeks truly count.
So we've covered a lot here. We've journeyed through Frivenlin's personal story, unpacked his EGM and your sweet spot frameworks, and looked at practical tools like mindfulness and HIME, including AI. It's really about designing a more aligned, fulfilling professional life.
Absolutely. If we were to boil it down to a few key takeaways from this deep dive, first, prioritize holistic happiness. Remember EGM. Don't just chase experiences. Actively cultivate growth and learning, and consciously connect with meaning and purpose. Use it like a checklist for your well-being.
Okay, EGM for holistic happiness. Got it.
Second, actively define your sweet spot. Use those 4 circles: what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, what rewards you, as a map. Don't just let your career happen to you. Identify where the overlaps are: passion, mission, vocation, profession, and where the gaps might be, then work to align them.
Be intentional about finding that overlap. Makes sense.
And third, embrace smart productivity and self-care. Think HIME. Leverage tools, including AI like Friven's GD or Google Notebook LM, or process improvements to get the highest impact with minimum effort. This isn't about being lazy. It's about freeing up vital time and energy for mindfulness, for rest, for renewal. Remember the rubber band. Keep it resilient. Your time is incredibly valuable.
Right. Use the tools to make space for what matters. So here's a final thought to leave you with. How can you carve out just 5 minutes today? Maybe on your commute, making coffee, walking the dog. Use that tiny window to consciously practice a moment of mindfulness, or just briefly reflect on one of those sweet spot circles. What's one small step you can take today towards a bit more alignment, a bit more fulfillment?